And dear students, today let us try to balance a disproportion ionic equation in both acidic as well as in the basic medium. For that, let us take this example of this equation. Chlorine plus hydroxyl ion gives chlorate ion ClO minus ion plus chloride ion Cl minus ion plus H2O. This is the equation. I will try to explain what is meant by disproportion reaction. Here, let us, step 1 is same. We want to find the oxidation number of every element. So we can see for a neutral element, the oxidation number is 0. What is meant by neutral element? If it is chlorine, iodine, water, if it is NaOH, if it is HCl, for all these molecules, the oxidation number is 0. H2SO4, 0. Then H3PO4, any neutral atom will have an oxidation number of 0. And hence, chlorine's oxidation number is also 0. But this hydroxyl group is having an oxidation number of -1. The minus indicate it is -1. Plus, this chlorate ion is having a value of -1. It's not only for oxygen. It is for the combined chlorate ion, the oxidation state is -1. For this chlorate ion, the value is -1. What is the oxidation number of H2O? 0. Why it is 0? Why it is 0? Because it's a neutral molecule. A stable molecule will always have 0 charge. So that is 0. That's fine. So in the first step, we have found or we have find the oxidation number of each and every element involved in the equation. Let us now try to find the oxidation number of chlorine in this chlorate ion. So ClO minus ion. So which is unknown, let us put as X. Plus, how many oxygen atom is there? 1. What is the oxidation number of oxygen atom? It is -2, which is equal to what? -1. This -1 comes from this value. So now X -2 is equal to -1, X equal to -1 plus 2, X equal to what? +1. So here we can see the oxidation number of chlorine is +1 in this particular ion. That's fine. Now let us see this chlorine. When I am taking these two atoms, here the oxidation number has increases from 0 to +1. So the reaction is called as what? Oxidation. The reaction is called as what? Oxidation. On the other hand, if I am going to take this one, here what happens? The oxidation number decreases from 0 to what? -1. So this reaction is called as what? Reduction. So you may feel this is also a normal redox equation because the same reaction, same equation, we have both reduction as well as what oxidation. But why is it called then disproportion? Then why is it called disproportion? Because here the same element undergoes both oxidation and reduction. In the previous cases, we saw there are only two different elements. One element will undergo oxidation and another element will undergo reduction. But here the beauty is that the same element is undergoes both oxidation as well as reduction, and hence the reaction is called as what? Disproportion reaction. Then the reaction is called as what? Disproportion reaction. But we will proceed the same steps what we carried out for the earlier redox reaction. That is, we are going to split this complete equation into two half reaction. One is oxidation half reaction, another is what? Reduction half reaction. So let us now write as oxidation. Step 2, we have to write as two equation. One is oxidation half reaction. The other one is reduction half reaction. So what is the second step? I am going to split this equation into two half reaction. Then finally what I will do? I will add these two equations to obtain a single equation. Okay, now let us write the oxidation half reaction. So Cl2 becomes ClO minus ion. This reaction is called as the oxidation half reaction. Let us call this equation number 2. Let us try to balance the ions. Here number of chlorine atom is what? 2. So I have to multiply by 2 here. So after you balance the chlorine atom, we have to look for the charges. So this reaction is called as what? Oxidation. Oxidation means what? Removal of electrons. Removal of electrons. Now let us try to look the charges. Here the charge is what? 0. Here the charge is what? -2. So how it may become -2? By giving 2 electrons. By giving 2 electrons. So Cl2 will give 2 ClO -1 or minus is called as -1 plus 2 electrons. Okay. Why I have given 2 electrons? Because after giving electrons only, it will be undergoes oxidation. So I am adding 2 electrons on the right hand side. I am adding 2 electrons on the right hand side. So now you see how many oxygen atoms are there? There are 2 oxygen atoms. So add 2 molecules of water on the left hand side. So Cl2 plus 2 H2O gives rise to 2 ClO -1 plus 2 electrons. Now there are 4 hydrogen atoms. So I have to add what? 4 H plus on the right hand side. So equation number 2 is called as the balanced oxidation of reaction. So let us check the charges. Here the charge is 0 plus 0 will become -2. Why it is -2? -1 into 2 is -2. This is also -2 because 1 electron will have 1 negative charge, 2 electron will have 2 negative charge plus 4. So we can see the charges also balanced. The charges also balanced. So this is called as the balanced oxidation of reaction. Now let us come to the reduction reaction. What is reduction reaction? Cl2 becomes what? Cl minus. Okay, this is the reduction of reaction. Now what is reduction? Reduction of reaction. Reduction is something but addition of electrons. Reduction is something but addition of electrons. So what is the charge here? Before going to charge, let us see. Here the number of chlorine atom is 2. Here is only 1. So multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. Coming to the charges, here it is 0. Here it is -2. Here it is what? -2. So I have to add 2 electrons on the left hand side. So it will get balanced. So Cl2 plus 2 electrons will give me 2 Cl minus. Is more than sufficient. Why? There's no need to add water molecule. There's no need to add a H plus because it's self-balanced. So this reaction is called what? Reduction of reaction. Let us call as 3. Now we'll try to add these 2 equations. Now let us try to add these 2 equations. We'll end up with the final form. So it will become Cl2 plus 2H2O plus Cl2 plus 2 electron. First I have added these 2 terms. Then I have added these 2 terms. So the left hand side becomes like this. Let us now move on to the right hand side. It will become 2 ClO -1 or minus plus 2 electrons plus 4H plus. Then I have to add this ion plus 2 Cl minus. So in this, which one we can cancel? In this entire equation, which one we can cancel? We can cancel the electrons. The electrons are on the other side, so we can cancel on this electrons. So this is the final form of this equation. Final form of this equation. Okay, so 1 Cl2 plus 1 Cl2 will give rise to what? 2 Cl2 plus 2 H2O gives rise to 2 ClO minus plus 4 H plus plus 2 Cl minus. So this entire equation, it is divisible by 2. This entire equation is divisible by 2. So it become 1. It will also become 1. It will also become 1. This 4 will become what? 2. And this will become also what? 1. Okay, this is based on that. Okay. So this is the final form of this equation. Now this equation is called as the balanced equation. Balanced disproportion ionic equation in acidic medium. In acidic medium. If you want, you can check also reactant product. What is chlorine? 2. What is chlorine here? 2. What is hydrogen? 2. What is hydrogen here? 2. What is oxygen? Only 1. Here also what? Only 1. Charges, here is 0 plus 0. Here it is what? -1 plus 2 -1. So minus 1 plus 2 will become also what? 0. So charge is also balanced. So this is the balanced disproportion ionic equation in case of acidic medium. Why it is called as acidic medium? Because we end up with H plus ion. We end up with what? H plus ion. In the same equation, I want to have in terms of basic medium, then I have to do the following work. Now this is balanced. There's no doubt this is balanced, but this has happened when reaction is happening in acidic medium. On the other hand, Cl2 plus H2O gives to ClO. Now I want to convert this for basic medium. The step is very simple. Add OH minus ion equal to the number of H plus ion. Add OH minus ion equal to the number of H plus ion on both sides. So Cl2 plus H2O. Now ClO minus plus 2H plus. I am going to add plus 2OH minus plus Cl minus. So I have added 2 OH minus ion. So this side also I have to add what? 2HO minus ion. Now what is this one? What is this one? 2H. Very good. It is water molecule. So ClO minus ion plus 2 molecules of water plus Cl minus ion. Cl2 plus H2O plus 2OH. Now there is one water molecule here, this is one water molecule there. You take this one to that one, become negative. So 2 minus 1 become 1. So the final form will be Cl2 plus 2OH minus ion will give rise to ClO minus plus 1H2O. Because I told the reason, this one will become minus 1. So plus 2 minus 1 is plus 1 plus Cl minus ion. So this is the balanced ionic equation if the reaction is happening in place of a base. So it's basic medium. This is the reaction balance equation when the reaction is happening in presence of a acid. So it's called as acidic medium. So you can see this equation can be taken in the form like this if it's going to happen in case of acid, and this equation will end up like this when it's going to take place in case of a base. I hope it is useful. Thank you. Students, let us explore the real meaning of oxidation and reduction. Oxidation is known as removal of electrons. And reduction is known as addition of electrons. Based on this approach, let us discuss some basics. Let us check the hydrogen atom. This hydrogen atom gives H plus plus 1 electron. Because we already know, we have already discussed also, hydrogen atomic number is 1. Which means it contains no neutrons, 1 proton and 1 electron in the outermost shell. When I am going to give external energy, there is nothing but called ionization energy. I want to make this atom as an ion. So when I am going to give external energy, I want to remove this electron from this hydrogen. This is nothing but my hydrogen atom, which is neutral because it has 1 positive charge, 1 negative charge, and the charge is neutral here to this hydrogen atom. Now I want to remove this electron by supplying external energy. That energy is called as ionization energy. IE indicates ionization energy. So when I am going to give external energy, I want to remove this electron. Why I want to supply this energy? Because this electron will be attracted by this proton because they are opposite charge. So we want to supply energy to remove this electron. Then only we can remove this electron. So when I am going to remove the electron, 1 electron from the hydrogen atom, already it doesn't have any neutron. Now this 1 electron is also removed. So the remaining thing will be called as what? My proton. So what is the symbol now? It is H, but it is not it is going to have a positive charge. Why? Because there is only one proton, which is one positive, and 0 electrons. So the electron is not there. There is no neutron also. Electron is also 0, neutron also 0. So totally the charge is what? 1 plus. So that we used to tell H plus is the symbol for proton, because this element doesn't have any electron, doesn't have any neutrons, so it is called proton. That is secondary. This is whatever we are discussing, we already discussed. But here we are going to see this hydrogen atom is oxidation state here is what? 0. When it becomes H plus, this oxidation becomes what? Oxidation state becomes what? Plus 1. So we can see the oxidation number increases from 0 to plus 1. So the thing what you want to observe here, in the context what we are saying is that the hydrogen becomes H plus by removing an electron. Why this process is called as oxidation? Because the number is increased from 0 to plus 1. Yes, the oxidation number is plus 1. So whenever the oxidation number increases, it's called as what? It's called as oxidation. How this oxidation has happened? By the removal of electron. So that's what I am telling. Removal of electrons is called as oxidation. Removal of electrons is called as what? Oxidation. On the other hand, when let us take chlorine, this on absorbing an electron will become what? Cl minus. Cl minus. I am taking for an example. Now this chlorine, what is the oxidation number? It is 0. What about this oxidation number? It is minus 1. So what happened to the oxidation number? It decreases. Oxidation number decreases from 0 to what? Minus 1, it decreases. So the process is called as what? So the process is called as what? Reduction. So the reduction has happened with the addition of electrons. That's what I am telling. So the addition of electrons is nothing but called as what? Reduction. And removal of electrons is nothing but called as what? Oxidation. Now let us come to this context what we are discussing with the chlorine or with this current equation of disproportion reaction. Yes, nothing but we have considered this equation. Cl2 plus OH minus ion gives ClO minus plus Cl minus plus H2O. As we discussed earlier, we came to know the oxidation of this chlorine atom is plus 1. The oxidation state of this chlorine ion is minus 1. Here it is 0. So now if I am going to consider this and this, it is called as what? Oxidation or reduction? Oxidation, very good. Why it is oxidation? Because the oxidation number increases from 0 to plus 1. So this step is called as what? Oxidation half reaction. This is called as what? Oxidation half reaction. On the other hand, I will take here the same chlorine atom. What happened to the oxidation number? Is 0 to minus 1. So this reaction is called as what? Reduction. Since the same chlorine atom undergoes both oxidation and reduction, it is called as disproportion reaction. Got it? This is called a disproportion reaction. So now we can write this single equation into oxidation of reaction and reduction of reaction. So here you can see chlorine becomes what? ClO minus. This reaction is called as what? Oxidation. And it's called as off reaction. So it's called as oxidation half reaction. So whether I have to add electrons or remove electrons, whether I have to add electrons or remove electrons in case of oxidation, you see here, oxidation is nothing but removal of electrons. So if you want to have oxidation, I have to remove the electrons. So here the oxidation state is 0, here the oxidation state is 1. Here please students make a note, here we are considering only the oxidation state of chlorine and not the entire ion. So don't tell it is 0 to minus 1. We will tell it is 0 to plus 1 only. We will tell it is 0 to plus 1 only. So now we have to balance. This is the oxidation number. Whatever I written at the top is oxidation number. Here there are two chlorine atoms. So I have to put as what? 2 ClO minus ion. Now I told this is oxidation. So removal of electrons. So how many electrons I have to remove? For one chlorate ion, it is minus 1. There are two chlorate ions. So I have to remove 2 electrons. So I have to remove 2 electrons. So Cl2 will become 2 ClO minus plus 2 electrons. So you may have a query or a doubt. Sir, still the charges are not balanced. Here it is 0. Here the oxidation number is what? 0. Here the oxidation number is what? Minus 2. Here the oxidation number is what? Minus 2. So the left hand side is 0, the right hand side is minus 4. Yes, I agree. Still the oxidation number doesn't manage. Still the charges doesn't matches. I agree. But what is oxidation? Removal of electrons only. We can't change that. We can't change. So the removal of electrons. Now how to balance the charges? Cl2 becomes 2 ClO minus plus 2 electrons. So here we can see there are 2 oxygen atoms. So in order to balance the 2 oxygen atoms, we have to add 2 water molecules. That is what we have seen earlier. So 2 water molecule will become what? 2 ClO minus ion plus 2 electrons. Now there are how many hydrogen atoms? 4 hydrogen atoms are there. So what I have to do? I have to add 4H plus. I have to add what? 4H plus on the right hand side. So hydrogen atom should be balanced by adding water molecule. The hydrogen atom should be balanced by adding H plus molecule. In case of acidic medium. In case of what? Acidic medium. Now we can see the charges. It is 0. It is also what? 0. It is charges. Here what is the charge? Minus 2. Here what is the charge? Minus 2. What is the charge? 1H plus is having 1 plus. So 4H plus is plus 4. So 0 is equal to what? 0. So now the charge is also balanced. So what I want to communicate to you is that don't worry about the charges here. Here the process called oxidation. Whenever there is oxidation, you have to remove the electrons. We have to remove the electrons. On the other hand, let us now come to Cl2 becomes what? We will come to the second loop, reduction loop. Cl2 becomes what? Cl minus. First balance the atoms. Here there are 2. So you put here what? 2 Cl minus. Whether it is a reduction or reduction reaction. For reduction reaction, what we will be doing? We will be adding the electrons. So you see, reduction is the what? Addition of electrons. So we have to add the electrons. So if I am going to add the electrons, how many electrons I have to add? 1 chlorine atom has 1 minus. There are 2 chlorine atoms. So I have to add 2 electrons. So by adding 2 electrons, this will become what? 2 L minus. What about the charges? It is 0, minus 2. Here also what? Minus 2. Here the charges also get balanced because there is no oxygen atom. There is no hydrogen atom. So it is called as, this is called as reduction, balanced reduction of reaction. This is called as balanced oxidation of reaction. After this, I hope you will be able to understand the concepts. Here the main concept of what I want to tell is oxidation is nothing but removal of electrons. Reduction is nothing but addition of electrons. That's the only concept I want to explain here. I hope it is clear. Thank you.